I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who it's for or against. Malcolm X. Since the 2016 presidential election, shit has been hard for some of us. For the rest of us, shit has been hard for a while. Yet since the election, people have been asking me publicly and privately what they should be doing about the intense anger they are experiencing. Other folks have been asking me about the extreme fear that won't go away. Still others have been concerned with the experience of overwhelming despair. As people approached me with these concerns, I checked out my own experience. I was pissed off. I was afraid. I was definitely experiencing my share of despair. However, I was also experiencing a lot of spaciousness, contentment, and confidence. I was thriving. I am thriving. Not only was I thriving, I was having a good time in life, despite the apparent apocalypse that was happening around us. I would sum up my experience in 4 words: friends, dates, Netflix, and cocktails. I had to get really critical about what was happening for me. On one hand, shit was scary. I did feel a little unstable. On the other hand, I was having the time of my life. How could I explain that things are really falling apart, but I'm having a lot of fun in life? How does that happen? I'm having even more fun now than what I was experiencing back then. I had to explore my relationship to love and loving, and that somehow love was holding my experience of anger and despair. In my practice, anger arises out of tension. There is a tension between being hurt and wanting to take care of myself, but not knowing how to do that. This tension leans into energy that I get sucked up in, and I label it anger. And that anger feels as if it needs to be exerted and directed somewhere. There's something that I have to blame, and if I blame it and if I can eradicate it, then somehow maybe I will not feel angry anymore. Strangely enough, even when I did that, I still felt angry. I had to learn to turn my attention back to the hurt, to the woundedness beneath the anger. Taking care of the woundedness was the path out of this suffering. When people would come to me and say, "Oh, I'm so pissed, I'm so angry," I would help them turn their attention to the woundedness beneath the anger by saying, "Where are you hurting? Where is the aching? Where is your woundedness? What is your anger trying to protect?" Sometimes it's okay to think that our anger is trying to protect us. However, it is more truthful to think that it's actually protecting something else that's a little deeper than that. It's protecting our hurt. It's protecting our broken hearts. The work to turn our attention back to the woundedness is this really intense, profound path of transformation, which doesn't feel as good as just responding to the anger, because the energy of anger makes us feel powerful. Some of us, particularly if we're coming from positions and communities where we feel marginalized or erased, use that anger to feel powerful, to feel valid. I come from activism. I've been doing the work since I was a teenager. First, I engaged in teenage pregnancy education and substance abuse education. Then I found out about the Black Panthers and became a Black radical, which was really scary. Not scary for me, scary for everyone else around me. In my teenage years, I was waking up to anger, but I was also really connecting to the hurt as a young person. I grew up north of Atlanta in Rome, Georgia. That part of North Georgia was a site of the Trail of Tears, where members of the Cherokee Nation were gathered and forced to walk hundreds of miles to the northwest to resettle on reservations. I am descended from stolen people who were resettled and enslaved on stolen land. I, my ancestors, and Indigenous Americans, as well as the land, are all still in trauma from this violence.